Welcome to this session of PTE listening, and in this video we are going to talk about highlight correct summary question type. So in this kind of question type you would be required to hear out a audio clip, and there would be few options, usually 4 to 5, which would be given to you, and you have to select one option out of those given items which best summarizes the whole audio clip which you heard upon. So this could be very tricky because those options could be many, they could be confusing, there would be many minor details which you need to see, because it might happen that you may assume few things, but we have to stick to what audio clip we heard, and based on this we have to choose the correct answer. So let's quickly go through what all it takes to score maximum in such question types. So usually in one exam you'll get 2 to 3 such questions. You don't again have a lot of time here, you just have a minute, almost a minute per question. This also includes the note taking and your organizing and understanding the whole passage, and you all do everything in less than a minute for one question. The scoring is also simple to understand. In this you need to, for every correct answer you'll get a +1. If there is an incorrect response you'll get 0. There is no negative marking, so do not leave them blank because the time is running. Whatever your best understanding is, you can take a guess and you can choose the answer which you think is the correct. I do have few tips, some rules which you can make use of to score good marks in such questions. So rule number 1 is listen to the signal words. There are some hints, some words which you need to give due attention, because these are the words based on which the questions would be asked. These are those keywords, the lines after these words or some phrases after or before these words actually holds the key to the whole passage. For example, look out for something of a conclusion or a topic. This will give you a fair idea about what all is the passage about. So usually the first sentence is the topic, and usually the last sentence is the conclusion, that what has happened overall in the clip which you heard. Similarly, there are few words like therefore, as a result. These are the words which talks about consequences, which could be one of the questions asked. And then there are few words which talks about the reality. So the passage could be something like something has happened, there are some rumors, there are something else is going on. But as soon as you hear out the word in fact, actually, the truth is, the reality is, that is where the true meaning of the passage is coming out. Similarly, the passage could also be related to some opinions or some answer where the speaker is talking about his or her own beliefs. So I believe, or as far as I'm concerned, or according to me, actually the answer is. These are the few keywords. If you get hold of them, you will understand the passage well. Similarly, there are few words which shows the contrast or the two different sides. For example, however, whereas, but, in spite. These are few keywords. If you take care of them, then you are going to understand this passage really, really well. Okay, so this was my rule number 1, where you need to take care of the signal words because this will give you a good upper hand on the passage. Then rule number 2 is pay attention to the tone of the speaker. Now, as we know that we do use a lot of stressing when we speak out, we at times become real slow because we want the audience to understand the attention here, to understand what all is going on here. So the tone speaks a lot. Be very particular where the stressing is and where the speaker slows down, because this is where they're going to be talking about something important in the passage. Rule number 3 is the elimination rule. I'm sure you must have gone through this rule in your past exams, because in this what we do is we assess all the options and we try to eliminate one by one all of them until unless one last option remains, and that probably is your answer. Okay, so let's see an example. If we can understand this, let's try to find out quickly what could be the correct answer for such a passage.
Test 4. Highlight correct summary. Page 139. 1.
I'd like you to think for a moment about your hands and all the things you can do with them. You can use them to write or to drive. You can thread a needle, play the drums, build a wall, and so on and so forth. They can be careful and precise. Think of someone doing eye surgery, for example. But they can also generate huge forces. And here you might think of the sports person throwing a discus or lifting a heavy weight. How is it possible for our hands to be so incredibly flexible? Well, it's all down to the extraordinary complexity of the bones, ligaments, nerves, and muscles that lie beneath the skin of our hands. There are, for example, 9 muscles alone controlling just one thumb. Some of these are anchored to bones within the hand, while others link to the arm.
Okay, so this is very clear that this clip was something about hands and how complex is their anatomy and how it works and how helpful they are. And then there are, how do you want to go forward with it? One is, of course, you eliminate what is not needed. So this is the transcript of the audio clip which we just heard upon. So we can see that the first line is the topic, your hands and all the things you can do with them. And there is some more signal words like how it is possible to be so incredibly flexible. Then they talk something about the huge forces, the sports person, some examples related to this. And then there are some example again, 9 muscles alone controlling. So this is the whole transcript about. Now, either we pick out the signal words or we can just assess what all was not there in the passage and we can eliminate this. For example, look at the thumb is part of a hand. Does the speaker talk about thumb at all? I don't remember. That means this option is talking about thumb, which is not there. Similarly, for each and every option, just try to see if it is really there. Of course, thumb is part of our hand and this might be true, but the speaker did not talk about it. So I'm going to restrict myself what the speaker said and I'm going to answer it accordingly. So looking at this, if you hear the whole audio out, you can see that, okay, the best probably is the last option where the topic is coming. The speaker talked about the human hand and the overall complex structure of nerves, not more, not less than this. So things like this, you need to practice a lot. Practice holds the key, that more and more you practice, more you'll get closer to the perfect score you want. I really wish you all the best for all the future exams.